Hello everyone, my name is Katarina Dahlin, and my presentation that I also presented in Berlin SEO and Content Club is about feeding the machine, so feeding AI about your brand. So basically how to get into AI answers with brand mentions. This is the topic of my presentation today. Let's start. AI only mentions a few brands in the AI answers, and here we have a screenshot from when I have been optimizing WordPress AI visibility. So we can see that for this query, we can see that only 7 brands were mentioned. So it's not like, it's fewer spots in the AI answers than it is if you are scrolling the SERP, for example, where there are 100 search results available. So fewer spots in the AI answers. And if you are not mentioned by AI yet, I have some good news, because then you can get in there. Like, it is possible to change who is in there. And also, if you are already being mentioned, you can also influence what is being said about your brand. It's not like the AI answers or what AI is saying is already like carved in stones, but like you can manipulate if you want to use this word, or influence it if you want to use this word, but like you can influence what is being said about your brand and what is being said in the AI answers. Let's take an example. So I have been working for and also testing and trying to understand how AI search is working. So for the WordPress brand, I have optimized the AI visibility. So one of the queries that I was looking at was best link building marketplace. It's an important query for us, of course, as a link building platform or marketplace. So it's important for us to be visible when someone is searching for this query in the AI answers. So this was the starting point. First of all, important query. Second of all, I was doing some research, both like looking in AI tools and also doing my own test in ChatGPT and for this query and similar ones. And I noticed that we were not mentioned first, at least, and not always mentioned and not always in the top either for this query. Like, I clearly saw that there were other competitors who had been doing AI feeding or AI optimization. They were like a bit more visible than us. So this was one query that I wanted to optimize and work with. And one thing also, because we have not been optimizing our own website for SEO and Google either. So we were talking about, even on our front page, we were talking about us being a content marketing platform, which is kind of true, but it's a bit vague. So we were not directly telling Google or AI crawlers that we are a link building platform. So that's why we were not so visible either on the query link building marketplace. So this was the starting point. Then I started to do a bit of work, publish some brand mentions, and this was a screenshot from this spring. I don't remember exactly when I took it, but it's maybe a couple of weeks ago. So I was just checking myself in Google for best link building marketplace, like searching for this query. And I was looking if our brand was there, and AI was mentioning our brand. Also in the top, I tried to do this in incognito window, so there would not be any personalized results. But at least we were there. And I was also looking at the sources and like going into these, that like opening these sources to actually see what articles were there. I could of course see that my article that I had published on my own website for this purpose, like best link building marketplace, in 2026 and the white press review. So this was already like lifted up as a source in the AI. But I was opening also the other ones that I have not optimized, but maybe my teammate has. Yeah, but white press were still in these other ones were all listicle articles, and white press were mentioned on position 4 and 5 and 4 and 4. So like we are on the query best link building marketplace, we were mentioned not on our own website, but on these third-party mentions that are being as a source here in this AI search query now. I also looked actually in my AI search tool, and I looked at the ChatGPT answers, and yeah, also wrote to my colleague on the chat 7th of April that ChatGPT picked up my website as a source. So like the article that I had published with information about WhitePress and what WhitePress is about and our unique selling points and everything. Yeah, this was picked up as a source in ChatGPT, and yeah, here we were also recommended in the first place. How do you get AI to mention your brand? There is also like two things here. One is to, if you go back, one thing is to get your brand mentioned, like here, WhitePress. But if you cannot click on them, or if you can, it doesn't go to the WhitePress site. So like one thing is to get mentioned by AI. Another thing is to get like your page as a source in AI. So we see, for example, yeah, all these other sources, they come from third-party articles or like my own blog. So it's not like WhitePress own site that is being mentioned. So what I'm working with mostly in this case is to get AI to mention our brand. But how do you get AI to mention your brand then? Well, by publishing articles, and especially listicles, they are working very well. It doesn't have to be sponsored articles, but of course these are the articles that you can order, and like you can choose what content to add in there. By being included in listicles together with your competitors, of course, and also basically being in articles on third-party sites. It's a lot about brand presence on the website, on the web as well, because your brand needs to be visible, and WhitePress as well. We are already a big brand, so it was not like we started from zero with the AI visibility. Like we already had a lot of brand mentions, and we were mentioned on everywhere on the web often. So like we still had brand presence and coverage. So we were just kind of like fine-tuning it. So basically it's a lot about brand mentions. You need to be mentioned to get AI to mention your brand in their answer. So if we really simplify this, the more brand mentions you have on the web, the better chances for your brand to get into the AI answers. So it's a lot about third-party content. If we just try to understand this a bit better, let's take a step back and look at how do AI systems look for information. Basically, there are two ways. First, it's the training data. So the AI model is trained on data. And the problem with this is that the data can be up to 1 year old. So first of all, you need to be in this data as well if you want AI to be able to know your brand and mention your brand. But it's not only this. Sometimes you are asking for things that AI does not have the answer for right now. So then it can do a real-time search. So then it's basically looking in search engine indexes like Bing or Google. It is looking for the answer, and if you are ranking in Google, you are ranking in Bing, and ideally, you don't need to rank first, but ideally in top results, then like it's better chance for AI to find the answer. Go look into the article and find the answer and give the answer. So if your brand is then there, then it can like mention you and find you in the first place. And how do AI system then form an answer? Well, they are then comparing the sources and the information they have, and they are building a picture of your brand, basing it on the consensus on the web. So if your brand is being mentioned often when they are speaking about a certain topic, then AI will know that this brand is relevant when speaking about this. And also if we go a bit deeper, like if we are talking about what is the best link building marketplace and your brand is often being mentioned, then AI knows also to pick this as the answer. So it's like gathering all the sources and building a picture of your brand, and then it generates the answer based on what it knows and can find. So if you are not in the training data, then you are not in the training data that like the model was trained on, and you are not you are not ranking, you are not in Google's indexes, or like that you are not in the articles where AI is looking for fresh information, then you cannot either be part of the answer. So that's why we need to build brand mentions. We need to be visible on third-party sites, not just on our own website. And then we come to the part where we do this in practice. So how do you actually feed AI with information about your brand then? Well, I created a 5-step process for this while I was thinking about how to do this for WordPress and like what should be my process. So this is what I come up with and what I have been fine-tuning. So first of all, you need to know what to optimize. You need to find the queries that you want to be visible on. What are the queries that people are typing into the AI tools when they are trying to look for answers to their problems? So, like, what are they asking? These are the questions we need to gather somehow so we can optimize the answer for them. So to find these questions or these search queries, I usually look at in 3 different places. So one is Search Console. This is nice because look in your own website Search Console and filter out all the questions basically. You can do this with regex filter. So yeah, just choose filter and custom regex and copy paste this into this regex bar here. So then you will get all the questions that your site has ever been visible on in Google. So you already get like an idea of what customers or potential customers are asking. These are real questions, so they are similar to, we can like assume that they are asking similar things, not only in Google, but also in AI search. So have a look at them and filter out the relevant or the ones that you want your site to be visible on in the AI answers as well. Another tool is also asked. Basically, it's scraping all the people also ask questions in Google SERP. It's easy to get them in the tool, and like when you are typing in a word, then you will get similar questions related to this. So either do it in Google or use this tool, and you might also find like relevant questions for your prompt research. And the third one is to just ask AI, the AI tools themselves. Try to do it in incognito window. So ask something, for example, what I'm looking for a link building platform. what could be relevant, what would be questions that people are asking when they are looking for the best link building platform to use. So you will get a lot of ideas that you can optimize for your AI visibility. So take all the questions from all the different tools, put them in a spreadsheet, and then start to filter out the best ones and choose the topics that you want to be visible on and start to work with these. We cannot track thousands of prompts, even though there can be thousands of questions. So we need to still choose whatever the amount is. Is it 70 prompts, 30 prompts, 100 prompts that we track? Ideally also work with those prompts that we are tracking. So when you have chosen your prompts that you want to track and work with, then put them in an AI visibility tool and add also your competitors so you know who is visible and who is not. Yeah, we have different AI visibility tools to choose from. So the next thing is then to, when you have put your prompts into the AI visibility tool, then audit your visibility. Like, what is the current status? We need to know who is visible today. Like, it just gives us a first overview of how visible are you compared to the competitors. And also not only look at like the visibility scores, but look at what does AI say about your brand? Like, is the information correct? Is it updated? Is it true? Is it false? So the next thing is then to, when you have put your prompts into the AI visibility tool, then audit your visibility. Like, what is the current status? We need to know who is visible today. Like, it just gives us a first overview of how visible are you compared to the competitors. And also not only look at like the visibility scores, but look at what does AI say about your brand? Like, is the information correct? Is it updated? Is it true? Is it false? Have a look at that as well. And the third thing for the optimization work is to identify the visibility gaps. So you will, when you start working, and you will start seeing what are the topics that you are quite visible on already, but what are the topics where you are maybe not so visible in, but your competitors are. So this was, for example, link building marketplace. This was one group that WordPress were not so visible on compared to other queries. So this was something that I chose to optimize then further. So prioritize where you are not visible, but your competitors are. We all have limited budgets to work with, so we cannot do it all. We need to prioritize. The next thing is to also improve the existing mentions, because you will find when you start to work and when you start to look at the sources that are already in AI overviews or in the AI answers, have a look at what is being said about your brand, because there might be brand mentions on like third-party articles that are not so good for you. They are not so good for your brand. Sometimes we don't even know how these get in there, but I was working with WordPress and I saw, okay, this is one part of the text about WordPress, but it said like, WordPress platform provides solutions tailored to meet various business needs, enabling them to achieve their objectives. So this is a very fluffy brand mention. It's very generic and it doesn't really say anything about what WordPress is about, what we do, and like, yeah, what we are doing. So this brand mention is either not good for AI, like it doesn't give them anything to work with. Like it doesn't help our brand. It's too fluffy. It doesn't probably even understand it. So then I could, for example, contact the site owner and ask them to change the brand mention or the text about our brand to something more smarter and more clear and more specific and like more simple without all the fluff, and like basically all the things that I would want AI to pick up in their answer about our brand. So then I could write, for example, instead, WordPress is the largest link building platform in Europe with 35 languages and 137,000 publisher websites. We have numbers here, which AI loves, and we are already being clear here what WordPress is about and what we do, and maybe also why we are better than the competitors. So if I can get this brand mentioned into the article instead of that previous fluffy one, then that's a win for me, because then AI will visit it and find it. So the thing here is to stay consistent about what you are saying about your brand. Say the same thing about your brand everywhere and place it on everywhere on the web, in social media. You cannot like control what people are talking in forums and reviews about you, but like in articles that you can control, say the same thing about your brand, and then AI will also repeat it and pick it up in their AI answers. So that was that, improving existing mentions. The next thing is it's my favorite part. It's placing new brand mentions. Like, let's also build new ones because AI loves fresh content. So let's not only optimize the old ones, but like, let's build new and good brand mentions for your brand. There are two ways how to place the new brand mentions. One is to get into existing sources. So if you are typing your prompt in Google search, for example, best link building marketplace 2026, then you can click up the sources and see, are your brand there or not? And if you are there, then fine. But if you are not in the sources, but your competitors are there, then you might want to be there as well, because you want to be mentioned where your competitors are, and especially if that's being used as a source in AI mode or like AI models. So yeah, get into existing sources. And the second thing is to create new articles on domains that have a chance to rank and are not blocked by AI crawlers. Create new articles because AI also loves fresh content. They will more easily get picked up into the AI answers. And try to choose domains that have a chance to rank, because when they are ranking in the search results, when the AI crawlers are doing the real-time searches, they will go out, they will find this article, and when your brand is there, then that's good for the AI answer, and they will find info about your brand. And also check so that the articles or the domains you are publishing on, so that they are not blocked by AI crawlers. Then AI will not find them, and it doesn't matter if they cannot read the content and read info about your brand. So these are a few things to check. But get into existing sources and also create new articles. And if we take a step further and look more specific where to place the brand mentions, then there are three things. Like domains that are already ranking for your keywords. These are good domains to publish articles on about, your topic or your query that you want to optimize, because these domains already ranking for those keywords, it will be a good chance or a high chance to get them also to rank on a similar topic. So we love these domains. And also on domains that are already in the AI overviews. If AI already picked these domains as sources once, it will be a good chance that the same domain will be picked up for a similar search query. So just publish more articles on these domains then. And the third one are niche sites with topical authority. For LLM visibility work, you don't need to publish on the most expensive domain or like the domain with the highest domain rate. The niche topical sites work very well as well, and especially if there is a site that only has been writing for a specific topic, then it already has like good topical authority, and publishing content about the same topic on these sites, it's very good for LLMs. So for example, like I published an article for when I was building brand mentions for WordPress, I published it on my SEO and growth marketing blog. So it's very relevant to link building. So like it immediately got picked up by AI. So this was a good niche site for WordPress, for example. And how do you find the domains then? Well, there are basically two ways. You can do outreach, like especially if you want to be included in existing sources, then you need to outreach these sites, reach the site owner and like ask to be part of it. Now I'm a Finnish person and I don't actually like to talk to people, so I don't want to email people. So I choose rather to order them from a marketplace like WordPress, for example, where I can sort out the domains myself and choose which ones I can publish on. I know we offer at WordPress like brand mentions, where you can like get your brand mention without a link, for example, in an article. Often it's more affordable than ordering a sponsored article in itself. But it doesn't just have to be brand mentions. You can also use like link insertions, like if you are finding listicles that where your competitors are, but you are not, then link insertion might work as well. And also just sponsored articles. You can filter out in our platform and find the domains you can publish on and publish your sponsored articles there and try to get them into AI sources this way. But outreach and marketplace are those tools that I use most often. Of course, then you can also use the social media channels like YouTube, use Reddit as well, or like optimize your reviews. One thing to check when choosing the publications is to check in hrefs. For example, if a domain is getting cited as a source. The thing here is to check so that the site that you publish on is not blocked by AI. But you can see it easily in SEMrush or Ahrefs if this domain already gets cited by different AI tools, then you know that, okay, AI can actually read these sites and pick articles from it as a source in their answers. So this is just a fast way to check things. We have gone through a lot, but I have made a quick to-do list for you, just so it will not be so overwhelming and you know what to do. First thing is that if you find that you are being mentioned, but it's a very bad brand mention or it's very generic text, then the to-do is to ask the site owner, ask to improve your brand mention and replace it with something better about your brand. The second thing is, if you are not being mentioned in the source that are in the AI answer, then the task is to ask the site owner, ask to be included. If it's often a listicle or a comparison article, when they are comparing different providers. If your competitors are there but you are not, then you should be there too. So ask to be added, first thing, and the second thing is ask to be added as high as possible also in the list. Because AI tend to recommend those providers or brands higher in the list compared to those lower in the list. And also sometimes you cannot get into the existing articles, but it doesn't matter. if you can't get into the existing sources, then just create new articles on domains that have a chance to rank. So create new articles on these domains that are already in the AI overviews, for example. And you can also get there because your article is fresh, and AI loves fresh content. So like you can get in with a new article as well. And if we quickly look at how should the article look like if we are ordering sponsored articles and we are building brand mentions for our brand, like what should we do? How should the article look like so it will get picked up by AI? First of all, write direct answers and no fluff. Try to answer the query in the first 50 words of your article, because AI tend to start from the top and go down, and if it already finds the answer in the top, then fine, it doesn't need to read the whole article. So, but if there is a lot of fluff in between, then it might go like find something else. Like AI doesn't have time to wait. They want their answers fast as well. So yeah, be direct with your answers, no fluff, and try to answer the search query. For example, best link building marketplace, answer it like in the intro already or in the first 50 words, and use all the best GEO practices, like use tables, use lists, use short sections. Yeah, and if possible, answer the question also already in the meta title, in the heading or meta description, and in the URL if possible. Then like if you are optimizing if you are writing a listicle about the best link building platform, then you can write who is the best, and you can also write in the meta description or meta title, for example, and in the URL if you can. So then we come to the measuring part, which is not so easy, of course. Measuring AI visibility is not easy for different reasons. First of all is that like you can be visible, but the users are not always clicking out to your website, and they are not always clicking. Sometimes there are third-party sites mentioned as a source, so like they are not even clicking out to your website, but like to other sources. So you will not get the clicks in analytics either. So it's a bit difficult to measure, but still measure the AI traffic in analytics, and yeah, you can filter out filter out the AI traffic. Although remember that some of the AI traffic gets tracked as direct traffic as well. So like we probably have more AI traffic than the actual numbers are showing. So also don't stare at the numbers, but like look for trends. And hopefully when you start to feed LLM with information about your brand, hopefully also the AI traffic will increase in analytics then. Do also manual checks, like especially if you're optimizing for specific queries, and especially the important ones, for example, link building marketplace. Now I did the mistake that I didn't like take screenshots of how the AI results looked like before I actually started the work. So like I don't have them. I cannot like compare the results, and you usually don't get the data in the AI tracking tools either, like longer than 1 month ago, for 1 month. Take before screenshots, especially if you are optimizing for a client, you want to show that your work is like working. So take before optimization screenshots if possible, and when you have published some articles on third-party sites, then have a look, like search the query in incognito in ChatGPT and incognito window in Google to see like did the sources that you published, did they get picked up as a source? Did AI start to mention your brand now, and like how does the AI search results look like now? And also use the AI visibility tool for help. you can do less manual work and get a better overview when using these tools. So remember that LLM feeding is a continuous brand presence work, and it's like just like SEO, like don't do just something for one time and then like think that okay, now we have done that, but like you need to keep on feeding LLM and keep on building your brand, and also measure and see on a continuous basis like who is visible and like are you still there and so on. And why should you even care about AI visibility, and why should you start the work? First of all, you can still influence which brands will show up in the AI answers. Like nothing is carved in the stone yet. Like you can still, like AI is still forming their answers. And like if you are the first one to get there and like building the brand presence on the web, it's more likely that you will get there. And if you don't start now, then your competitors will. So like if you are not there, AI will pick someone else's name and then they will pick the competitors. That's why you shouldn't wait. You should already also keep on feeding the machine. Feed the AI with good things about your brand and why you are the best answer for this problem. And thank you very much. You have my slides there, but of course, if you have questions still after this presentation, you can always contact me on LinkedIn. Yeah, if you want to have a chat, I love to talk about the AI search. So thank you.